And I know with inflammation that you've also worked with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, EDS. How does that connect to the nervous system and inflammation?
Yes. And I can hardly wait to release more information on this. But when I got sick, the doctors at the research hospital said, I asked them, why is it that someone wouldn't recover from this? I don't get it. And they said, well, some patients with EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, don't seem to recover. And they checked me for that. They did skin biopsies. We ended up checking all the blood vessels in my body. Those are fine. And they said, okay, well, your collagen is abnormal. It's a connective tissue problem. This is genetic. So what's happening over time is that the collagen in the blood vessels is weakening, it's getting more lax, and blood tends to pool, and you're developing POTS. So there's really nothing you can do about that. I said, okay, where are the genetics of this? They said, oh, we don't know that. I go, one, why don't you? And two, if it's a genetic problem with collagen, are we ignoring any genetics that could weaken collagen that could be treatable, like an inflammatory problem? Chronic inflammation affects connective tissue. We know that. Could it be a genetic problem that's inflammatory and you're seeing the results of it? Or could it be both? Could it be that there's a genetic problem with the structure of collagen connective tissue and a problem with inflammatory states where it's worsening that? And they go, yeah, we don't know that. That was another part of the strange journey. So I said, I know it sounds right to you that a gradual laxity of the blood vessels would cause POTS, but there is nothing gradual about this. I got a virus and 2 weeks later I'm disabled. And then I watched my son, he's 8 years old, get those three viruses and just got sicker and sicker. Said it wasn't gradual. It seems to have had a trigger. And I want to try to dig deeper. So part of my research was to look into the collagen inside of blood vessels and learn that, okay, well, this isn't right. It's a different type of collagen in the blood vessels. So unless I had something like Marfan's or Lloyd's-Dietz syndrome or what have you, and I didn't, the collagen in the blood vessels shouldn't be affected. Okay. So they were just kind of glossing over some of this, going to a conclusion that was scientifically incorrect. They weren't even thinking deeply about this, and they blamed a genetic issue improperly. So EDS is another condition. We want to change the labels. I have a chapter, the book I put out, gosh, it's been 15 years, I think. It was called The Driscoll Theory, The Cause of POTS and EDS. And I'm happy to share that with anyone. But I had a whole chapter on where we went wrong with EDS. We're saying it's a genetic problem of connective tissue without the evidence of that and ignoring any treatable aspect of that condition. So it's another thing we need to change the labels and only say it's a genetic problem when we can locate those genetic issues, right? Because so many patients are told, like I was told, but I didn't believe it, but they do, that, oh, you have a genetic problem, so there's nothing you can do, which is breaking, right?
Very. Yes.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you found there's a bigger picture there. People are missing the bigger picture of how these conditions were related, like the nervous system and inflammation, that they do tie together.
Absolutely. And again, that's the treatable aspect of it, right? So we should always focus for patients on what part of their condition, like you said, is in their control. They should be doing everything they can do to maintain their health. What part of it is out of their control, and throw away these labels that are not based in science. Yeah.